Hey guys, so a bit of a different one today. I have a product to show you that I'm pretty interested in, and I think you guys will be too. It's called the MoniMoto 7, and it basically prevents your bike from ever being stolen. But first, let's check out this sick new channel intro that I've just finished making. Motocross, cross country, enduro, and much more. Join me for the ride of a lifetime. How good is that? We've finally got a proper intro. We're a proper YouTube channel in 2022, doing things right. It's an exciting time. But to the matter at hand. This is my 2021 Yamaha YZ250. It's insured for fire and theft, and if it got stolen tomorrow, I'd probably get more than what I could actually sell it for. This bike's also insured for fire and theft, but it's a 2009 Yamaha YZ250 with 170 hours on it. I'd be lucky to get $4 for it. But as we know, the electric start and carburetor on it alone are worth $4 now, so it'd be a massive, massive loss, not to mention all the work and setup that's gone into it, the suspension that's perfectly set up for me now, that fuel tank that had to come from America, all the other bits that had to come from overseas, the nice graphics kit I've had custom made for it, all the rest of it. This is a bike that can't just be replaced now, and I'm sure a lot of you watching at home are in the same situation. If you insured your bike, you wouldn't get anywhere near what it's worth, and you'd lose all of your hard work that's gone into it. That's where an anti-theft device and GPS tracker is a big draw. So for the first time, I've actually felt like I need one. Not to mention, I've finally got my bikes at my own house. That's probably news to a lot of you guys watching. I've moved house. It was one of the major things that delayed the latest episode of Crafting a KTM Killer. And it's a big deal for me because I've finally got a double garage now, or my own garage at all. The last place didn't have one. I had to keep my bikes out at my parents' for the last 2 years, which has been a major pain in the ass. And it's also why I've done the Crafting a KTM Killer build series out at my parents' place, because that was the only workshop I had access to. One of the weirdest effects of moving my bikes out to my own garage for the first time is I suddenly fear that they're going to get stolen for no rational reason. They were no more safe out at mum and dad's than they are here, but it's just one of those things. So the way it works is basically you hide this thing away on your bike somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to put it on mine in case you're a would-be bike thief. If you are, f*** you. Then you put this wee fob in your camelback or somewhere like that, something that you're always going to have on you when you go riding. And when this is in proximity of this, it deactivates the anti-theft device. So then of course, whenever your bike moves without this being near it, your phone starts lighting up with locations, this thing starts tracking, you get on the blower with the police and they just follow your bike to wherever the thief's gone with it. And hopefully find a chop shop full of people's bikes that have been stolen and recover a whole heap of them in cars and God knows what else. Apparently exactly that happened in Australia with someone who had fitted this to his bike just a week before it got stolen. The cops tracked it to a chop shop and rescued about 20 other bikes. So that's awesome, the idea that this thing can actually prevent people from organised crime, I suppose you'd call that. So that's exciting. But I'm gonna get busy, install it, and then we're gonna test it and just see how it works. Getting the thing up and running was just a matter of installing their app, ripping this tab out of the battery compartment, and then basically just following the steps. All in, I'd say it took about 5 minutes, most of which was spent waiting for a firmware update to download and install. And then of course, mounting it to the bike was a trivial matter for a mechanic of my caliber. Okay, so I found a nice spot for that. It's easy to install. There's sort of 3 or 4 spots on the YZ, to be honest, that I could have put it, but I put it in the one that I felt was best. That was easy as. It's super easy to set up on the app and everything, and so now in theory it's all working and this bike cannot be stolen. And if it does get stolen, I'll be able to track you to exactly wherever you've taken it. So let's put that to the test and see if it actually works. Nicola, who's behind the camera, is going to hold my phone out in front of the camera and just see if it starts lighting up if I ride the bike off down the driveway.
I was going to say, you're going to steal your own bike.
Pretty much. I'm going to try to steal my own bike anyway.
Good luck.
So here's the fob. The idea is this is with you when you go riding, but if I don't take it with me, my phone should start lighting up and going crazy. I'm going to leave this right here, ride the bike off down the driveway and see what happens. Look at that, stone cold. All right, ready? I'm gonna steal it.
A few moments later.
Oh!
Did it work?
Yeah, it took a while, but now I'm just showing.
Yeah, I didn't go far away. I went like, I don't know, 300 meters away.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. By the time the burglar's 300 meters away, your bike's being tracked.
When you answer the call, it it just stops, but then you see the notification in the app, and then you can go into the app.
Okay, that's good. It's good to know that, how it actually works, eh?
The phone was showing that you could click on a live GPS tracking thing, but it said it would use the battery up faster. That's because there's a battery in the actual tracking thing, eh?
Yeah, so that's the interesting thing about this in particular is unlike a lot of other trackers, it doesn't have to run off the vehicle's battery. So the bike could be off and have a flat battery and you're still...
And they're just taking in a truck or something.
Yeah, exactly, and it's still going to get tracked. And the other thing I thought was worth noting as well is it comes with batteries in it that are charged and ready to go, which is...
So how do you make sure that doesn't die, or if it's not running off each one?
Well, it will eventually die, but the idea is you've got it before it does die, I think.
Oh, because it shows you on here.
Yeah, that's I haven't done my research and looked up how long it'll last, but I'm sure there's an official figure somewhere.
Oh, you can even pick what battery type you have in here, Energizer.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So now nobody can nick the KTM Killer with all its special parts on it. And I can rest easy at night for the first time. Haven't slept in weeks. So there you have it, pretty cool product in my opinion, and that question Nicola had just there at the end about how long it tracks for once it's on bike stolen mode, they reckon on the official MoniMoto site 10 days, which is supposedly more than enough to catch any burglar, and I would think surely that would be too. So that's good. My other question that I had was how waterproof is it? And they reckon it's IP65 standard, dust and resistant against low pressure water jets, whatever that means. That could mean that it's fully waterproof and they're just trying to word that safe so that they don't get sued, but yeah, I suppose if I drown the bike, I'll just have to give you an update and tell you whether or not the MoniMoto is still working. So that seems all pretty good. It's 330 New Zealand dollars, which I thought was quite a lot when I first read that. And then on top of that, you've got to consider that there's a $49 US per year fee for the SIM card. Doesn't seem that great, but then I stopped and considered that to insure my WR for fire and theft for 1 year is $400, which is more than that. So, I mean, that's actually pretty reasonably priced for what is essentially an insurance policy against your bike getting stolen. Pretty cool. If you're in New Zealand and you think this is the product for you, you're going to go and buy one now, please consider doing it through the link in the top of my comments. That's the best place to buy them here in New Zealand, and I get a small kickback when you go through that link, which is a great way to support the channel at zero extra cost to yourself. If you're from anywhere else in the world, just buy it wherever you can find it cheapest, I suppose. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.